show in Quake 1.
And we ended up making a TV show at PAX instead.
Well, we did.
Yes, we did.
So I think at this point, I mean, we can talk forever, but the guests are what we want. We should bring out our guests.
Yes, let us bring out our guests. Who are those guests, though?
Well, we've got at least 2 of the Rooster Teeth team. Rooster Tooth team?
Tooth?
Teeth?
Teeth. Sheeps.
Yeah, we've only got 2 of them, it's not the whole thing. We've got Gus and Fred from Rooster Teeth, and they're somewhere backstage. We were told there are only 2 of you, so this is like extra awesome.
But no, not really.
Not really? So luckily we got some vodka for you, so take a break, relax a bit.
I'm gonna eat every piece of candy in this dish.
That candy might not be good. That's like the candy that like every convention center has. Oh, I finally get to sit down. Well, they're like bunched into the corner, like as far away as they can.
You got one of you guys in store here. I'll see.
Oh, you want to sit right there? All right.
Yeah.
That's the epic man seat.
By the way, I'm Burnie. Nice to see everybody. How you doing? This is Geoff. And I'm Fred.
I'm Fred. Also, pretty happy with Lady Girl 05.
Yeah.
So how's your PAX going, guys?
So far so good. Oh boy.
How does it compare to previous PAXs?
Yeah, we actually have been coming to PAX since the very first PAX, Maiden Hour.
Wow.
Back when it was, I think, like 3,000 people. Don't lie, you weren't there.
Yeah, you're not fooling anyone.
We got that Negro Wapacon. I've heard like mysteries about it.
No.
They said I wanted to go to PAX. Like every year, we'd be like, oh, we should go to PAX. We don't have any money. Let's just go next year. And then the internet would be like, PAX was the biggest thing that ever happened ever. And I'd feel stupid.
One for not going or for believing it?
I wasn't sure. I couldn't believe that it would have been that awesome. But apparently it's that awesome. So you guys do Machinima, right? That's your thing. You're like segueing to Machinima.
This is the research portion. No, it's called Machinima.
So how did this what's the etymology?
The etymology, well, actually we do make it. What we do is we use video names for movies. And we thought it was a whole new idea, and they actually called us about 6 months into the mission and said, no, what we're going to do is genre called Machinima.
Wait,
So you hadn't seen any other machinimas before you started doing yours?
No, I don't know that really too many existed back then.
so you say they, it was like the dictionary they called, they're like, listen,
No,
you
the
guys are making
Academy
this.
of Machinima Arts and Sciences.
You really ate all the candy.
It's a work in progress.
You're not so well.
Just store in your pockets.
So who told you about you were
Justin's pissed.
So who knows what you do? Like, always like, people just like,
Oh, it was a guy by the name of Colton Reno. He ran the Machinima Academy.
Okay, is it a real academy, like in a school, or is this a guy?
No, it's a fake academy. It's correspondence course.
Like you say, like you're not joking about this?
Yeah, it's like
Did you take the correspondence course?
it's all like brown.
my first weekend, I was at this like LAN party. Like back when LAN parties were the only way to play games.
Yep.
It was in like Southfield, Michigan. I had my like HP, I'd take the side off that would overheat. And I was playing like Action Quake. And then in the middle of this thing, I'm a fun kid, and I'm thinking this is awesome. This guy with the projector is like, we're gonna watch Father Frank's Best. Oh my god, Father Frank's Best. Like, I have no idea what's going on. And then I see this Quake 1 like thing, which was, as far as I can tell, a sitcom about Father Frank's Best. And like he murders his whole family in the end. It was like a half-hour long. And it was amazing. Actually, it was terrible, but
Those are back in the days when you actually had to have the game in order to watch the movies before there was any kind of video online or anything like that. And so if you wanted to do it, you actually had to run it inside Quake or inside Doom.
So were those better days? Like, do you think that made better machinima?
Oh no, sucked.
It was terrible.
And these guys are the opposite. Like in the anime community, they're like, oh, the anime music videos are so much better when people use VHS. Now it's all ruined because they can do it so easily.
Yeah, a lot of people like to put those restrictions on themselves. It's usually because they're making stuff that's not interesting, so they try to put some kind of restriction on it to tell you how it's artful.
So you're pretty much like the most popular machinima guys out there, right? And I've never, like, even...
Machinima turned
Yeah, why not? They say, why should I, say that they're wrong? They know more than me, they're the authority.
No, we're super popular.
Yeah.
I'm sure why not.
So I mean, like, are there, like, lots of people copying you, or...
Well, I mean, it's like, everyone has access to video games, it's like, what's copying? We're on someone else's world, jumping around making stupid, drunk jokes or something like that. So people see something successful, they want to do it too. So I wouldn't say it's copying, but there's a lot of machinima out there. Sounds like that's what you're saying. It kind of does, yeah. I'm talking around it, sure, why not?
So, did you ever expect it to be, I'm sure you realize this all the time, to get as big as it did? In fact, that you're on the Late Show at PAX, you're like the guest, you're kind of celebrities, people
They're big
recognize
enough, they
you.
have a meeting.
Yeah. We don't get main events.
When we started 7.5 years ago, dashboard, which is where you want all the things in life to happen. We didn't get a unicorn, a Ferrari, and the top priority was to be on the show. And tonight we fulfilled all of our life's goals.
So what are you working on now? Like, you have some big projects?
Like that. What are we working on now?
Yeah.
That's a really good question. What are we working on now? Nothing. Get in a second, probably. We're working on a show called Immersion right now that we showed at PAX East, which is where we take stuff from video games and we test them out in real life. Like we took a car and made a Grand Theft Auto car from it where we mounted a camera behind it, blacked out all the windows so you could only drive the car from behind.
Did that work?
No, it wrecked my truck.
So are you sitting in the car with a projector instead of the windshield, or are you like have a remote control from somewhere else?
A projector sounds really expensive. We used a shitty 13-inch monitor taped to the steering wheel.
That may have been the problem, more so than the third person.
Yeah, probably so. We turn the wheel, the monitor rotates.
So was this fully on? Like, did you have them driving around the streets, like running people over?
The police probably would have stopped that pretty quickly.
Yeah, we shoot in Texas even.
For some reason, the law is big on being able to see out your windshield. Sober.
What games are you playing right now? Like, when you're at home and you're not at PAX, like, what game do you just, like, sit down and, like, this is what I do, this is what I play? Or are you those people that come to PAX but don't actually play games?
No. We play lots of games. We play badly. Like, Jeff plays the most. He does a thing called Achievement Hunter where he makes a living just playing every video game that ever comes out and getting all the achievements in it. So.
Even like the really weird games that are...
Yep.
What, as an example, what would be a weird game?
Like, just all like the shovelware you see on the shelves that like you don't even...
Is that really weird, or is that just kind of like the common denominator?
I don't know.
You mean the easy achievement games? Absolutely.
Well, I mean, not just like easy achievement games, but like, games
go buy,
that,
like-
they're clearly,
Like, you go buy,
some
like,
guy...
baby dress up, and you're like, all right, I'm gonna dress up this baby to get all the achievements.
I don't think that's a real game.
Did you spit most of these out? All of them.
So I want to talk about this now. So what is it like about the achievement points like you have to guess them?
Like, do you salivate?
Well, he gets a paycheck.
Oh, really?
That's a big motivator.
What, like $5 per achievement?
Well, no, that's what his job.
How can I get that?
It's like an addiction thing. They just give you little bite-sized ones, and then before you know it, you're up all night and you're shaking and you can't stop.
But like game theory says achievements are bad because they give alternate utility, like the scary game theory. Like utility is what you get out of the game.
Game theory is something nerd
So I'm
talk
saying
to
put
me.
them
Game theory doesn't sound fun.
that, but you called him Fred.
That's called professionalism.
Fred is a machinima expert. I don't know if you know that.
Like, check.
There's the big hook gonna come get me now.
Could you possibly like say I'm playing Counter-Strike and like I wanna win, like I'm gonna beat the other team. And some guy on my team is like, I'm gonna get the knife everybody in the back achievement, and I start losing because this guy's running around with a knife instead of using the gun.
Well, you know, that's one thing. We have a philosophy about that is that achievements are what make the single player part of the game competitive. Because you have no other way to show that stuff off. So if you do cool stuff in single player, that's what achievements should be based on. A lot of people put achievements in multiplayer or even worse, like ranked play, which they're their own reward. They have their own rankings, so they don't really need it there. But that's my personal philosophy. Do you have a personal philosophy?
I'll go with you.
Okay.
Do you seriously get paid real money to get achievements? Or is that just a joke?
No, that's what he does at our company. Yeah, he has a show called Achievement Hunter.
Oh, I got you.
All the kids love it.
No, I thought that there was like some actual company. I thought that there was like some website I could sign up that would pay me every time I got an achievement or something like that. Oh, so the show is just all you basically show people like here's how to get all the achievement points so that if you want to learn, you know, where the best points are. That's all it's about.
Yeah.
So are the achievements servers. Like you could just go to those grind out servers. Your show could just be like my character standing there as the boss run around in a circle.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Totally.
I think that'd be a good show.
Yeah.
Just play Benny Hill and just like have this thing going.
What's like the most like ludicrous achievement you've seen? Can you even come up with?
The most ludicrous achievement I've seen, that I haven't seen.
It doesn't matter. Just
The most ludicrous achievement in the world is to be the #1 ranked player in Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon specifically.
Do you have that one?
No.
Okay.
So it's like Ghost Recon's like, you know, like what do you have to, how good do you have to be like the #1?
Well, you have to be number one.
Why not? Like how like,
Better than everybody
Considerably
else.
better than #2.
Number three's got no chance.
It's fucked up.
how many points is that worth?
30.
Like 10,000 hours of your life for 30 points. 30 imaginary points.
So obviously video games are really important to you guys. You know, making this machinima, doing all this stuff. You ever play like D&D?
Yeah, these guys play D&D once a week.
Every Monday night.
Really?
Yeah.
D&D, ever play like other games, like GURPS or Burning Wheel or anything? You're just like D&D all the way.
I don't know.
You just took to another level. How do you guys?
I just went all the way up.
We got out nerdy. No, we
No.
did D&D.
I have a wife.
Play D&D?
She did for a while. Then she decided it was too nerdy for her. She quit playing.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a hard moment?
She went back to collecting miniatures.
Yeah.
See, now the important thing is, what did you do with her character? Did someone like take over this character?
No.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be true to the game. That's a question that someone who doesn't play D&D would ask.
I played D&D Second Ed, and then I played D&D World of War. I mean 4th Edition
Once.
at PAX.
Be nice.
What?
So when you play D&D, do you play like the rules heavy? I'm just curious, like what people do in D&D. Because some people play like the Buried Pretzels, like rules heavy, like let's go into the dungeon and see if we come out. Some people don't even roll the dice, and they play like we're the elves in Everesca, and we're gonna talk for like 4 hours about how awesome trees are.
We vacationed once in Everesca, and it was nice and all. But
Didn't they like blow it up in one of the recent expansions or something?
I don't know.
They like blew up, and it's like my hometown.
I don't know what the fuck anybody's talking about.
I'm talking about that.
I'm canceling D&D from
It's all they had. So let's go back to your past. So you guys were kids at some point, I assume.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have been that long ago. So what was the first game you played where you like realized, like suddenly like you got it, like this is a game. This isn't just like I'm coloring, oh lines. But, like when you realize like this is a game. I'm playing a game. I'm trying to beat my parents at like Monopoly or whatever.
I'm gonna date
Any
myself.
game.
It was fucking Pong.
That was the first video game I played was Pong.
Yeah.
Like in the arcade or
I had a fucking coffee tabletop.
you had,
version
wait,
of
was
Pong.
it the program with 4 paddles?
You had one in your house?
Yeah, I had one of the tabletop games that you can sit
You had an
across.
arcade game in your house as a
Yeah.
kid?
My dad found it at a fucking dumpster.
You're like Ricky Schroeder.
Yeah,
Well, you're like,
We need to hear more about the dumpster pump.
here you
So,
go.
was it 2 paddles or 4 paddles?
2.
2 paddles? So did they have wires when they came out? Or were
No, it was hardwired, like
they were
in the
attached.
unit, yeah.
To the thing, and you just wired it up to the TV with the...
No, it had a TV in it. It's like if this was the Pong game, and someone sat there and someone sat here.
Oh,
It's a
so it was
cocktail arcade.
It was a
Oh, the cocktail.
cocktail.
That's like the best cabinet. Like what's classier? You got like a fancy apartment like in a city, and instead of the coffee table, you've got like the vintage wood panel Pac-Man machine.
PAX Late night next year, cocktail arcade. Write it down. Put it in Big Quest.
I don't even know who you're pointing to.
Anybody, unfortunately, somebody.
Someone in the audience is like, all right.
Galaxy is preferred.
So you know, like Monopoly with your family, like that wasn't the first game.
Special delivery.
Oh, there's the vodka.
No, this is water. It's candy diluter. No, thank you.
No, seriously, that shit's good.
So we can just segue right into some facts. We gotta ask more questions, I guess. So, is there any game other than Duke Nukem Forever? Because I guess that's coming finally. I mean, I guess we can play it here at PAX. But is there a game like you wish existed, like that doesn't exist, that just like this is the game where you would just like stop your life, like I'm just gonna play this game until I die?
StarCraft 3.
StarCraft just came out. Like,
I know, but I'm starting early.
wait, so wait, are you good at StarCraft?
No, I'm terrible.
I really need some advice. So if anyone wants, like, you could make money. I swear to God, if you did StarCraft tutorials, like $5, like guitar lessons. Charge whatever guitar lessons charge. I will pay you.
Yeah, I want a private tutor.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
I bet if you look
embarrassing.
on Craigslist, you find some Korean dude willing to teach you how to do
Are you at least good enough to where you don't just lose? Like I'll think I'm like I got a tank. All right, I'm good to go, and then suddenly like just I'm done. I don't even know what happened. Like my whole base blows up. I'm like what happened here? What's going on?
No.
It's kind of like in Street Fighter. It's the same thing. I can't win.
Is your baseball and Street Fighter too?
And Bison just like explodes. There's Zerg everywhere. I don't know what's going on. I might be confusing the two games.
How about you, Burnie? What's the one video game that doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah, he was avoiding this question. He like let it wash over.
I don't know. I mean, I'm naked, like think of it, right? I don't know. I would say probably some kind of zombie survival game.
I'll tell you what I make. I make an MMO that when you start playing as a character, when you die, you're dead, and that's it. Everybody has one life.
That's what I've always wanted. I had a better idea. Well, maybe not better.
Oh shit, fucking throwing it
Oh, the
down.
hosting show. It's like, you get the guest on. You're like, what do you like?
Because he
He's
has
like,
my idea.
I got a better idea.
That's
than
right.
that.
My idea was you pay 25 cents every life. So it'd be like the arcade MMO, right? You die, you're dead. You gotta pay 25 cents to get a new guy.
How is 25 cents a life not unlimited lives? Me.
I guess this
But you don't respawn. You lose everything. You're back to nothing.
So you pay 25 cents for the privilege of losing everything? Way better idea.
You die, so you have to make a new character, and the new character costs 25 cents.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Totally different from mine.
So how easy is it to die in your game? Because obviously
It's just
this
like
is
any other game, so just people be fucking careful. They watch their fun. Red Dead Redemption or whatever the hell.
I was careful back in the old MMOs where like you die, you lose like 4 years worth of experience points.
Yeah.
And like your pants of holding fall off and some grad like crash and you're done.
Yeah.
Remember when your pants are holding fell off? That was awesome.
But if some guy's going around killing people too, people get together and hunt down this guy and kill him. Then like the guy who's made to like level 60 or whatever, he's actually a badass. He's not just a guy who spent the last week locked in his
See, I
house.
always wanted that. Like, it seems like what would make MMOs really awesome is if you had this kind of emergent behavior that mattered. Like when they murdered Lord British back in the day. Like, that was cool. But yet the game developers like, no, that's not how you're supposed to play our game. And like they always add like systems that kind of compartmentalize everything. Like you do a raid and his honor is X. Let's have a PvP, but there's no real consequences. Like, oh, I lost, whatever. I lose 5 points of something. It's not like I lost because I pissed too many people off and they killed me. Now I'm dead.
I gotta start over. I gotta pay 25 cents.
That's right. I mean, it's kind of annoying to make you pay the subscription fee. It's like no matter how much you play, you end up paying the same money over and over again just to keep your character. But if you paid per life, if you play more, you're probably going to die more unless you're really, really good. So then, and the MMO needs to make money. They got the servers, It's just realistic. Yeah.
Also the
Do you play MMOs? Or
Me?
Yeah.
No, that's like addiction.
So
Fine.
don't play now or didn't play ever. Like you're avoiding it because you know it'll happen.
No, I'm so pissed still. I played World of Warcraft for like 15 minutes, I think. Just walking around.
15 minutes got you to level 58?
I played. I'm the king of the free trial. I play 10 days at a time. And then when the free trial's up, then I'm done.
So you're cheap as shit.
But isn't it like fancy?
So a 25-cent game may appeal to you. So you may have a market.
So you didn't know anyone ever played like that? Any of us played MUDs or anything back in the day?
I played MUDs, I played the shit out of
What
WoW.
was the ASCII game with Dungeon?
NetHack?
NetHack. Yeah, I played that.
Oh, you actually know how to play NetHack?
Yeah, up arrow, down arrow, left arrow, right arrow.
No, it's really
Yeah, it's really complicated.
No, but
There
like
isn't
I'm
a
trying to
cheat
play
code
NetHack
video.
and I always just like die on the second floor, and it's like you get into situations like you have to dig or search, and there's like a million other commands. If you don't know them, you basically can't go anywhere.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
Yeah.
So you ever played, there's this game, and it's called Dwarf Fortress. I think the audience all heard of it, you haven't heard of it. Imagine NetHack the MMO, that's what that is. Except it's not an MMO, it's just one guy.
Like it's a dwarf.
Yeah, you control like this whole world of dwarves. Like Sim Dwarf, it's this massive world, but you just kind of control these dwarves, and they dick around, and eventually they'll starve to death.
Sounds awesome. I can't imagine why I've never heard of it.
They like watch these dwarves like starve, like they'll lock themselves in a room and starve to death while the Baylors like running around outside, murdering your children.
Here's exactly how you describe this game. You play the game,
Yep.
and you have a world of dwarfs,
Yep.
and they starve to death and die.
That's,
That's the game.
that's the only story I've ever been able to tell in that game, at least.
So you should take that 25 cents a dwarf. Think about it.
I mean, I can give a better explanation of the game if you want. Yeah.
Let's see how far off it is from his.
Right here, it's really easy. Sim Dwarf.
Who the fuck is that? So a bunch of dwarves starve to death in the wilderness alone. And
It's like SimCity but with dwarves. But it's all ASCII like that.
Is it okay for swear?
it's
No,
okay.
you can swear your brains out. Alright, done.
So why don't you make like Rogue Machinima? Why don't you make like take NetHack or Rogue and use that as the platform?
Because it looks like shit already. I mean, here, let me make you some machinima right now. Like, this is a dash, here's a period, there's an exclamation. Crush, die dwarf. Look at that. Give my 25 cents.
Machinima's a lot harder to make, actually.
You can use Dwarf 1 and Dwarf 2, but we gained the residual rights of Dwarfs 3 and 4.
Shouldn't is easy. All you need is a mouthful of food and a match.
That medicine every 10 minutes.
Does anybody else have any?
Dude, you drank all mine.
You want more candy? Is that really?
No, I'm okay.
Now, you're not getting into my secret Werther stash here. We got this whole like desk that doesn't open behind the scenes.
Is it a prop desk?
It's a real desk, but it's like locked. There's like
okay.
there's like a body in here or something. I don't know.
It's a machinima.
Maybe the script's in there.
They didn't let you guys have access to your desk.
No.
You don't have to tell them that. We would never know.
This is both.
That's fine.
Yeah, but then I try to open it and it's obvious. I get this fake notes that I can periodically go like this with, like Space Ghost. You guys ever watch Space Ghost?
Nope.
No?
I watched the original Space Ghost.
Really?
So when he's a superhero and not just weird.
Yeah, I mean, like Leak the monkey and all that.
Yeah.
But I never watched the show. What was it on?
Comedy Central.
I watched some of Space Ghost.
You want to come and talk about it?
Come on, take this in.
What's the mic?
There's trouble going on over there.
Trouble's ruined.
So, trouble's brewing. All right. That all aside, we have a musical act, but I feel like we should bring the musical act out, and you guys can bother her for like a few minutes. So, you guys want a musical act? We've got Molly 23 here. If she'd like to come up on stage, I suppose we could talk to her for a few minutes. Usually you get the musical act first. They sing, and then we interview. We're gonna switch it up because we're so cool like that. Yeah, she's got to go backstage first and then come on stage.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
Professionalism right out the window. Everybody, give a warm welcome to Molly. No, yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
It's not our first time at the rodeo.
Hey, somebody give her a microphone.
She can have Jeff, she's not saying it's funny.
You can sit and
The one that's directly in front of you.
There you go.
Oh no.
Now your mic works.
Hello? Can you hear me?
All right. So you're a PAX. You're a musical act. Are you a gamer?
Because in my house we have ADSL, like our internet provider is older than I am. We use speakeasy, and so my internet tops out at about 35. And so I would play. I know I would play WoW. And I know I would play Xbox Live, but like I can't download songs off Rock Band. I can't do any of that. Like a couple Christmases ago, I got a Wii. My family got a Wii, but I stole it to go to college. But I spent weeks making memes of just everyone I could think of, like, oh, look, here's Garrison Keillor playing Wii Sports.
We made a really good Abraham Lincoln. Like, we were so proud of this.
Teddy Roosevelt, I think, is the best meme.
Yeah, but we didn't make that.
I made a Tazani that's pretty convincing. But like my dad said that it was kind of the equivalent of like buying your daughter this beautiful doll and then watching her play with the box. And I would game if it didn't feel so sad to like play Call of Duty by myself and play Left 4 Dead by myself.
Yeah, Left 4 Dead by yourself is rough. Those bots just kind of walk off in the middle of nowhere and die.
Yeah.
So there are, games were single player without internet for most of the history of gaming. Like you find it sad to play a game that's not multiplayer. I mean,
They were like, oh, we're just gonna ruin gaming. People care about graphics now. Crap.
that's true. That's what happened.
Yeah, and Manhole no one cared about graphics, but it was just kind of this random serial. Like you walk through a tunnel and there's an elephant who lives on a chess piece, and there's a penguin, and then you wander down and there's a wombat who's starting a tower, and it just did not. It was a bad acid trip this entire game. And like Rodney Sunscreen and all these really kind of dark and awful children's games that my parents would let me play, and I think that's why I turned out the way I did. But I wish I gamed more, but I have to convince my parents to get better internet.
So did your parents ever play with you? Like, I grew up in a household where, like, my mom was playing the Atari, like, while she was pregnant with me. Like, gaming was just, like, in everybody's blood.
My grandpa had Duck Hunt, and that was like the best thing that ever happened to my childhood. But we figured out you could just sit in front of the screen with a gun and knock every duck out of the screen. Yeah.
Even better, if you turn the contrast, like, way up, the brightness way up, you shoot anywhere, it always hits the duck.
If you just put it on your eye and just point at them, boom, boom, boom. Do the best marksman ever. I'm really boring.
Did you have the orange gun or the gray gun?
We had the orange one.
Okay.
I had the orange gun.
I also, but the gray one is like super old school.
But it broke like 5 minutes after you got Nintendo, and then we get the orange gun from Toys R Us.
I'm super boring.
So you're looking at me now like I gotta do something.
What do you mean?
You looked at me.
So, what am I supposed to look at?
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
I guess we got a musical act
Just
here.
get rid of the sexual tension, just make out. You're in love.
On the late show, the kids are already in bed.
Alright, so let's talk about your music for a second. So how did you get your start playing music, in general?
In 6th grade, I had a guitar. That didn't work because I'm small and, guitar is big and it's hard to put on airplanes. And then 7th grade, this is the natural progression, everybody. 7th grade, we got a mandolin, but the strings are really hard, my fingers are little. And everyone was like, I like your tiny guitar. And then as an 8th grade graduation present, I asked for a banjo for some reason. And that didn't work because I realized, wait, it's a banjo. Got a secondhand accordion. That also didn't work. And
Wait, the accordion or you're playing it? Like, was the accordion just broken? Did that like foil you?
Oh no, the accordion definitely worked. It was minor failings. But then my dad brought home a ukulele, and there's this company, Flute Ukuleles, that makes these like plastic triangular, they stand up on tables and they're awesome. And my dad sees this in the shop window, and he says, this thing looks stupid, maybe Molly can play it. And so he brought it home and was like, you sort of play string instruments, take this. And so I taught myself, because all the chords are like the same as guitar, just with 2 less strings, which is nice. And ukulele kind of solves all the complaints that I had about previous instruments, like guitar's too big, ukulele's small, mandolin's a pain in the ass, and ukulele strings are soft. And banjo's a banjo, and ukulele's kind of trendy for some reason.
Yeah, I was gonna, it seems like if you go on YouTube, this ukulele is really trendy lately.
Yeah.
Do you know, a reason for that, or is it just...
No, I don't, because it's cheap and it's relatively easy to play because there's 1 string for every finger. And
See, I would just say it's entirely because of you.
oh, sorry. Obviously, spread it like wildfire.
Plus, you can make it like with the right camera work, you can look like a giant.
It's true. It makes me look much bigger in comparison, I suppose. But it fits into airplane overhead compartments, and that's mainly why I play.
And so, I I've told the story like 3 times today, but basically, when I was in 5th grade, I played guitar, and then when I went to middle school, I was in the school band, so I had to play something for the band, and guitar was not an option, so I played like the clarinet. But then when I got to high school, I was like, oh, you know, screw this whole thing altogether. And then ever since then, it's been like almost 2 decades. A decade. Too long.
Because clearly, if you had played the guitar that whole time, you'd be a rock star now.
Dude, I would be a musical actor if I played the guitar for like that for the 20
Oh, I thought you were
years.
going to talk about clarinet and how you regretted not sticking with clarinet.
Yeah, no, but like I regret like not sticking with guitar. I've totally lost everything now.
I've like not stopped playing guitar, but I've been playing since 6th grade, and I'm still not really proficient at it. I can do like the Girl Scout like campfire kind of songs, but it doesn't pick up for a lot of people unless you like because I'm the one that sat there playing like Smoke on the Water for days and days and days, and I think that's why my parents got me other instruments.
That's kind of disappointing because I was gonna say like, do you think I should still go get a guitar and try again? But now you're like, no, I've played for years and I'm still not a rock star.
You should get a ukulele, dude.
Is there like a lot of? I don't know. Is that not manly?
That's really, look how big you'll look next to the ukulele.
Yeah, seriously, pick it up.
All right, let's see here.
Good for you.
That's what I look good. With the ukulele? Yeah, it is kind of easy to play. Very nice.
So I'll probably let you perform. We've got, we kind of pushed you guys to the side. So what kind of music do you like to listen to? Like you make music. Do you like to listen to the same kind of music? Do you listen to like
I don't
ultra
listen to music at all, it just
hardcore?
comes into my head.
No, like black death metal or.
I will listen to a lot of things. One of the first songs that I learned on YouTube, because I'm mentioning it, I end up playing it.
Oh, it's the uke now. Is that the cool way to say it?
It's just because I'm lazy and I don't like syllables.
Not like ukulele.
Apparently you're supposed to say ukulele, and like people who are from Hawaii will get really pedantic about it.
It's like if you go to Colombia, they get really mad if you say Colombia. They only say Colombia.
Colombia, yeah. But yeah, the first song I learned, and that's very visceral somehow. And I shouldn't have learned any more songs after that because it sort of peaked.
So what do you guys like? What kind of music do you listen to? This is PAX. Music's a big part of this.
I fucking hate music.
I'd love to hear her play the ukulele.
Okay. I'll start with this one.
So everybody, give it up for Molly 23.
I was at Woodstock, yes. I've been,
I saw you then. Use the mic.
No, I can hear you. It's cool. No, you're a Woodstock. That's cool. So good.
Sing that song about.
not right now. I'm going to do Stupid Down first.
But I hear you.
No, I mean.
The one in past tense? Yeah. I mean, it's about the Abraham Lincoln assassination. So here I go.
Wake up! Recommend put a little makeup. Why'd you leave your kissing on the table? Here you go, great on the fiddle. You want to? Everybody put a little makeup. You want to? Heads goes away with a shake up. You want to? Why'd you leave your kissing on the table? I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. I cry when angels deserve to die. Forsaken, we all trust in
buy a monopod? What? I don't know.
Why did I do that first? Now I can't feel my face. Okay, so this next song, I don't know how many I'm doing. How many? Where'd they go? They've abandoned me. Oh. I don't know how many songs I'm doing. I'm gonna do at least two. This song I wrote because for a good long while there, I was not famous enough to have a Wikipedia article. In Wikipedia, there was an article up for like a week, and then it got taken down by the dungeon masters of Wikipedia who said that I wasn't famous enough, and they were like thumping the rule book and stuff. And so I decided to channel my rage and my angst into a breakup song. And so the song is about, it's a breakup song, and obviously I just said that, but instead of breaking up with a person, I'm breaking up with Wikipedia. And it's called It All Makes Sense at the End. When I met you, I thought you were really smart, and even more so when we started going out. It was your intellect that really won my heart. There was just so much crap you knew so much about. I was hungry for knowledge and I was single. I didn't want to date, I really hadn't planned to. But you were cool and you were smart and you were multilingual, and I felt like I could really understand you. But then it went downhill, and we'll never get back to our better days. I'm done, I've had my thrill, and I think we ought to go our separate ways. But it isn't you, it's me. I guess we just weren't meant to be. I thought we were inseparable, I thought you were my friend, but looking back now it all makes sense at the end. You're sometimes vague and you're often inconsistent. You've no opinions, you never take a stance. You're so dispassionate, you always sound so distant. And I tell you, you know shit about romance. And not once did you ever say you loved me. You sent no flowers, you never called me honey. And you always talked as if you were above me, and it felt like you were always needing money. Sometimes you generalize, and on better days your tone is condescending. And when we talk books or films, you always find a way to spoil the ending. But it isn't you, it's me. I need someone more scholarly. I thought you had the answers, but your smarts are all pretend, and my attraction only makes sense at the end. You just believe everything you're ever told. You never question, I'm pretty sure you don't fact check. Someone puts ideas into your head, yet never blink. No, sorry, no. Into your head, you never blink. You immediately buy it. I won't say that you have no integrity, but I might imply it. Turns out you're not the guy I thought I knew, and I think we need to stop and take a breather. I never know if what you're saying's really true, and frankly sometimes I don't think that you know either. You have no real facts, your knowledge is all hearsay, and I'm tired of playing all your stupid games. You don't keep pictures of me, and you don't know my birthday. I don't think that you even know my name. You keep tabs on other girls, but I noticed there's no article for me. You're known by all the world, so I guess I'm just a droplet in the sea. But it isn't you, it's me. I owe you no apology. I know not to judge my company just based upon its looks. I'm too grown up
first, a big hand again for Molly 20. I know we kind of got you over your tech problems when we first started, but thanks for coming on the show and putting up with us.
Thank you.
And us talking about machinima. I guess he's dead. Okay, that's all right. So Geoff and John and Mark and Luke and
Fred.
So it was great to have you on the show. So we've got actually something fun we're going to show for everyone. Loading Ready Run, of all people, decided that they wanted to help us out and make like a little video. And they made one of their things. They've never showed it anywhere except at their panel at PAX. So you guys are going to be the first people to see this. It's going to be in the Late Show. So we're going to hopefully screen it for you guys right now. And then, the secret is we'll edit it in after the back for the real show that gets put up on the internet. So, Rooster Teeth, woo! That was my segue to trick you off the stage. And we can cut the taping right now. This is all the meta stuff later. Save our tape for the big guest at the end.
Funny sound, right?
Yeah. Guys!
BRB.
What is it?
Oh shit, guys! PAX is 2 days away! Yeah. And Blizzard is exhibiting there! So, they're gonna be expecting us to demo the next big thing! What the hell are we gonna show them?
I don't know. Maybe show them some Diablo 3. The new Artisan Blast we just announced. And Brian's been working on some sweet particle effects for that.
Well, that's not good. Wait, Diablo what now?
Diablo 3, there's a great bit from Stone Craig Mines that we could just...
Since when has there been a Diablo 3? What happened to Diablo 2?
We released it 9 years ago. I'm still playing if you want to...
And no one bothered to tell me.
It was kind of a big thing. I thought everybody knew about it.
Fine, I guess we don't tell Gary anything. Alright, we'll do whatever preliminary concepts you guys have doodled for this Diablo 3 thing, and I put out these posters for StarCraft, so hopefully that'll be enough to calm the ravenous hordes.
Oh, sweet. Are those the new StarCraft 2 promos?
Gary, I don't think these are going to work.
StarCraft 2? Since when?
Over a month ago. We were hoping to have that earlier, but,
Why would you make a StarCraft 2? We haven't even finished 1 yet.
Yes, we did. 11 years ago, it was really popular. What do you think we've been doing for the last decade?
I don't know. I just figured you did stuff.
Couldn't expect us to do World of Warcraft forever, could you?
World? What about Warcraft needs a world? You've got orcs, you've got humans. Where's the world?
The World of Warcraft. Wow. 11 million subscribers? The world's largest MMORPG?
That's what WoW stands for? I thought it meant weekly ornithological whodunit. That's the play. All that time trying to get a letter of reference from Sonia Ulala, too. Okay, I know I may be a little behind the times, but I know one thing hasn't changed. Blizzard's dedication to only releasing the finest games in the world. So where are we on Rock 'n' Roll Racing 2, Kerrigan's Cart Caper?
It's in development.
Did you say you're working again? Well, I used to be in charge of oiling the pneumatic tubes to keep Battle.net running, but then they put me in charge of the PAX booth.
Maybe we should just not exist at PAX this year.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.